Great question. Great question. Great question. Do you do that when you're giving a speech or presenting during the Q&A section? If you are, I would advise to stop doing that. There's a couple of reasons you shouldn't say great question during your Q&A. The first one is it simply becomes repetitive if you're saying it over and over again, especially if you're getting lots of questions. It becomes a non-word, a distraction, similar to saying The other part is it can actually discourage people from asking questions. A lot of people are nervous about raising their hand in a meeting or in a big auditorium and asking a question. So if you've gone and said, good question to everybody, and for some reason you don't say that to them, they can be embarrassed. They're thinking, oh my gosh, what if they don't say my question's great? They're going to think it's a dumb question. I'll be embarrassed. People are going to laugh at me. So when you're doing that, rather than saying great question repeatedly, the best thing to do is simply rephrase or repeat the question. That does a couple of things. One, it allows you to clarify that you understood the question, especially if it is complex. By rephrasing it, you're putting it out there, making sure you're on the same page as the person who asked the question. The other thing that it does is it allows the audience to hear it. Sometimes, and especially if you're in a big space, people in the back may not have heard the question. And if it's a simple question, you can simply repeat it. What's the timeline for this? What's the timeline for this project? If it's a more complex or a challenging question, you can rephrase it. Scott, how are we going to right this sinking ship? What's our plan for turning things around? Doing those things will take your Q&A sessions to the next level.